Go live.
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, I better turn down the volume on my TV.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a good welcome. We are definitely live now.
Woof,
We're waiting on one other person, but we'll just wing it. In the meantime,
he'll be here eventually.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we should then get started. Oh, hang on a second.
Oh,
hang on. Hey.
No,
there we go. All right. Now we're on air.
Nice.
Yeah, I just built
new contraption there.
Yeah, I just built that. Oh, here we go. Here's Joe. Okay, so
Joe.
Okay. He's connecting. So all right. Well, this is a rather interesting intro. I guess do we want to, Casey, do we even want to do like a regular intro at all?
Yeah, well, welcome to Minute Microscopy, blah, blah, blah. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, and we do some music and stuff, and you can go to, I don't know, you can get downloaded onto your Zune or some stuff like that, iTunes and Spotify.
If there are links, hit the links, click all the buttons, the like buttons.
Yeah, just
probably a bunch of like buttons.
The thumbs up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. I gotta turn off this view here because I'm seeing myself delayed, like moving around.
I still have two.
Maybe you've just had a little bit to drink.
You still have two Zunes?
I haven't used them in a while, but I do have them.
What are they, like 20 megabytes or something like that?
I got one that was modified so it could hold like a pretty good amount. I don't remember what it was, but
still a lot of Zooms, like two Zooms and a lot of Zooms. That's it.
Oh man,
like probably the last two in existence, really.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you could sell those on eBay probably.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nah, keep them for posterity.
Oh yeah. What was that? Some ghost or something that just flew behind you?
No, that would be
it's you.
That would be that thing right there. That's Jack.
Oh my God.
Jack.
And Lisa exists? That's ridiculous.
Riley.
Oh my God. Everybody's real. Oh,
wait,
and they're all there.
You gotta do the intro again because it was focused on Joe with talking.
Sorry.
Oh. Well, okay. Let's see. I guess we're all here, and probably we could have a topic of conversation, but it seems like we could just we're already getting started on that.
Yeah. No, I was thinking, like you, me, Joe, we had this conversation about 10 years ago about, like after a stimulus of some kind, what really comes first, your perception of the stimulus or your reaction to the stimulus?
Was that 10 years ago?
It was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. Give me a reference, frame that out for me a little bit so I can try to remember that.
So it started when you had this apostrophe, you called it, or an epiphany or whatever. And you were saying that I'm probably like the most positive person and you had a whole like reason behind it, and then it morphed.
I remember the conversation.
Yeah, it morphed into like how you perceive things. Is it seeing the world in a positive light? Is it seeing the world in a negative light, and how that shapes reactions and your responses and things like that. It got pretty interesting. So
because I got involved in it too, and I remember we were going around and around talking about like symbology and things as well, and does something have an inherent meaning or an intrinsic meaning? And I remember Casey, you and I were kind of pretty passionate about that at the time.
Yeah, I was like just I don't even think I was back in school yet. So I didn't have any kind of real biology knowledge apart from self-study, which only gets you so far. And I've probably kind of changed my stance on some of that to some degree, but I was taking the angle that, your reaction follows a stimulus, and then you perceive the situation, and then you have a response. And by that I meant like reaction as like, does it make you angry, or like what kind of physiological response happens, because when you get mad you get a little flushed, your stomach kind of drops out from under you if it's like really bad. There's some kind of visceral thing that goes on right before you even like process what's happening.
Yeah.
Completely.
Or if you're scared or whatever, or happy about something, right? And I think my point back then, and it kind of still is the same way for the most part, that everything is subjective. All the images, the meaning behind things, like no one symbol has a set meaning for everybody. It's experiential. It's like you're only afraid of guns, right? Like if you've had seen it in movies or been told things. Like me, I see guns and I'm like, hey, all right, this is cool. But some people, like even the mere sight of a gun is sheer terror. And
yes, yeah. So yeah, like there's perception, like a preconceived perception involved in some of that. Like you said, if your experience has shown you that guns can be scary, guns are weapons and all that stuff, then yeah, that can certainly shape your reaction. And then you'll have even more perceptions on top of that based on the actual situation itself, right?
yeah,
But like if you've never seen a gun ever, and someone just took the aggressive stance of pointing a gun at your face, like you might still have the same kind of response.
well, and this is where I think we
That's
had
the aggressiveness of that, though. That's more about the person than the item that they're holding. Could be a
okay.
rock, could be a hammer, could be a feather. If you've never seen a feather before and I aggressively threw it in your face, you're going to be afraid of it because it could be a threat.
Well,
That's a natural basic reaction.
well, that's kind of sort of what I was saying in our conversation about that. That if you've never seen a gun before, let's say you've never seen projectile weapons before, the only way that something could affect you is if the object itself physically made contact with you, and someone's like 20 feet away. Well, you don't feel threatened necessarily if somebody's like just shaking a hammer in the air, because you don't know that the hammer is actually a gun that could kill you from a distance.
Sounds like a hatchet. And they're just really good
Yeah,
at it.
well, it's kind of like you kind of have to know what the thing is, and have experience with it. And that's kind of my point, is there's no intrinsic meaning to objects necessarily. Like, for instance, what about lasers? Or nukes or something, right? Like, let's talk about weapons. Like, if you just had a little tiny package like this, and you're threatening to push the button, and you're in like the 1500s. Well, they've never seen dynamite. They've never seen nukes. They've never seen explosives in general. I mean, gunpowder was still fairly new. So pushing a button on a box would not be a threat to people back in that time. But today we'd be like, oh, there's like wires and a timer on there and like sticks of red cylinders and stuff.
Well, let's go back and is this more so a focus on how people perceive items or individual things, or how people perceive situations?
I would say
interactions.
all of the above. I think they're all interconnected. It's like an object is no different than a scenario. Basically, the universe.
I believe that may be.
So the universe is basically just matter and energy in various positions and movements and things like that. we're the ones that give it meaning. We're the ones that compartmentalize things and put it in boxes and
Yes.
ascribe names to shapes and things like that. Like, so that's kind of my point, is like, there is no, I don't know, like there's no,
not a true right. There's not a true meaning.
yes, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah, no. And I wanted to jump in and knowing that we were going to talk about this earlier today, I realized this weekend I went and I applied for a job that I was very much in my head about. Wasn't sure if my management or people would be supportive of me being that. And but I know that I have other staff members that I work with that are supportive, that are like, you should apply for this job, blah, blah. And I really got in my head and I'm like, this is all actually, you know what, before I move forward, let's have a safety moment. What actually gets you guys demonetized?
Cool.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck? Okay. I'm not going to give a fuck then.
Yep.
Not a single fuck. Okay.
It's time for cussing.
Let's make sure that we're there.
Mm-hmm.
You got a square glass?
Huh?
You got a square glass?
McMillan's.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, nice.
Fancy. Can see it. Yeah, McMillan's downtown. I like the square glass. So applying for this job, I was really getting in my head. I'm like, oh my God, my manager says this, and I've seen other people say that, and I'm just really stuck in my head. I'm like, this is all bullshit. Like, I know objectively, like, I'm good at what I do, and I objectively have examples of people saying I'm good at my job, but I'm just so far in my head that I'm just screwed up at it. We took a training at the city, and we still have training at the city for a program called Open Mindset. And what it talks about is perspective, everybody's perspective, and then how they deal with that, basically. So the goal of this, and I'm not trying to be a salesman for it, I want to let you guys know that it was shocking to me, because I was like, I'm fucked in the head, but I know that it's messed up, because I know that it's not quite right. Let me go watch some videos on YouTube and try to see if I can get kind of back on the right track. So this open mindset thing is basically just designed to show you that your perspective of other people is always based on your mindset, your perspective of them, how you treat them, what you think about them. And this can be translated to anything else. What do you think about a weapon? What do you think about anything?
A person.
Absolutely.
For instance, people based on superficial features and things like that.
Yep.
Like someone that's dark-skinned or light-skinned or red-headed, or they're heavy set or tall or whatever.
The whole theory is that you can make up a lot of different stories about the other individual or the person or the scenario or whatever, but you don't really know. Everything is all in your head. It's all kind of bullshit. Unless you look at them and try to see their past, their experiences, you actually research the past of whatever it is. You understand it. Like, if you understood what a gun was, you wouldn't be afraid of it. It's just a tool. And the same thing for people. If you understood them as a human being, like, oh, this person kind of talked shit, or they said something that I thought that was them talking shit, but if you knew their past, like, oh no, they said those things to try to help me move forward or try to make me better. But I'm just thinking about it in a negative mentality. And that is a really good example of perspective, because after thinking about applying for the job, watching a bunch of videos, drinking a bunch of alcohol, and like drinking myself right, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? Fuck, dude. Like, these people, nobody's out to get me. Like, all these people are just trying to make sure that everything goes well. Everybody's trying to do their job. Everybody's trying to do good things. Nobody's talking down to me. They're just trying to give me education. And because they all have 5 extra years, 6 extra years worth of, training within the city and everything else. Mm-hmm. And coming away from that, I was like, wow, it's ridiculous that I got so sucked into like thinking, oh, I suck. Everything sucks. I'm just a bad person. I'm bad at my job. I shouldn't even bother.
Well, it's all relativistic, right? You know, like compared to who, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really the thing.
Here's the thing about like your perception though with like interpersonal relationships, right?
Mhm.
You know, it's absolutely true. Like you only know as much as they let on, right? You know, so that what I'm getting at is there's some people that are like I'm kind of an open book person, you know, like I'll tell people pretty much anything, and you know, I just wear my asshole self on my sleeve. But you know, there's a lot of people that are more closed off, and you know, for whatever reason, maybe they have bad experiences, maybe they're just shy, but
Mhm.
you have nothing to build a perception off of other than what you're inducing, you know, like
Well,
you're trying to
That's
piece
the
things
thing.
together, right?
And that's the thing. You never know what the background is because most people, I'll say for my example, right? When I go into work, I provide my work self. I do my very best to be a work self person because I know that my hanging out with you guys and talking in real life, my normal real life person cusses a lot. I say a lot of vulgar things. Most of my friends understand the vulgarity is typically to try to induce some level of humor or to induce a level of emotion that is fitting for the situation by saying something dramatic or whatever.
You
I
add
can't
some
do
spice
it.
to your conversation with your curse words, Joe.
Yes.
You make it spicy.
well, yeah. In fact, vulgarity is kind of a spice of language, right?
Yes.
You know, if it's used in moderation, it makes things tasty and interesting. But if it's used too much, well, it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
You know,
or
yeah,
fuck, or you know.
yeah, yeah. Well,
It tastes like fuck.
so it's an
Everybody
interesting.
does that more often now.
Yeah, like it's kind of whether it be people or situations or objects, it's all a matter of prejudice, basically. Which
Yes.
you know it has kind of a negative connotation that oh, prejudice is bad. Well, no, it's just the way people kind of condense complex things into very simple things very quickly. So you take your experience, you take very limited data and assemble it into a picture. And sometimes it's right, but it's often wrong. Like you're saying, Joe, like knowing people and having the knowledge about their entire life, you know, you can't gather that from just a brief glance at a person.
Yeah.
But you could build a little bit of a picture, and it's kind of a survival instinct, I guess.
I'd like to make a note following that specifically, which is something that I've thought about a lot for a long time. Everybody is not necessarily racist, but everybody is the type of person to put everybody else in a category.
Well, yeah, and it's not about race.
Nope.
It's just categorization.
And that's what it is. But from birth, we are taught, all of us are taught, this looks like a square, this looks like a circle, this looks like a triangle. This looks like red, this looks like blue, this looks like yellow.
Mhm.
We're all taught to categorize things. And even though it might be mauve or it might be indigo or whatever, or it might be an oval or it might be a rectangle, we categorize those things into the primary structures that we can organize them in our brain. So the problem, I mean, not necessarily the problem, but the one thing that comes into play socially with human beings is that we do the same thing where we say, this looks like that looks like that. I'm going to group them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trained
Okay.
to group
All
things so we
right.
can understand them easier.
Here's the thing. That is a very valuable thing, and it's a very powerful tool of the human mind, right? Like it allows us to simplify so many things and be able to very
Don't worry, Ted. Today during my work meetings, I had a crying baby and a dog that was going off. So you're good. Don't stress about that.
These are neural pathways that we form. This is how we create thought. This is how we think quickly, in fact, is by categorizing and compartmentalizing.
Absolutely. The human mind is very good at making connections and connecting dots, even if they're kind of vague, right? Like the whole seeing things in clouds and stuff. We do that very well. However, like in the moment, it's useful, right? Like I don't know, some situation.
That's a fire. It's hot.
Yeah. Or you see a car that's going a little too fast towards a red light, and at an intersection or something, you're like, oh wait, I should probably slow down because they're going to blow through that stoplight. But to carry it on to this is something that's problematic. I think that the problems happen not with the prejudice that the presuppositions we have about circumstances and people and objects. It's when we don't follow through and we don't dig deeper and after the fact kind of, oh, hey, I thought this way, maybe I should do a little more research, ask a few more questions, things like that. It's all superficial. And so many people are content to just be that way, right? Like, oh, well, I've just scratched the surface. That's more than enough. I totally know exactly what's going on here with like clearly no data.
Well, I think in regards to racism specifically, like the problem comes from associating attributes incorrectly, right? Mm-hmm. Like, let's say you're a small kid and you get hit with a baseball, and now when you see anything round, you get scared. It's not the roundness of the ball that hurt you, it's that it was really fast and it hit you, like,
well, yeah, that's a good point. And you were in the wrong place at the right time, I guess. Yeah.
No, it's so everybody has prejudice built upon this foundation, right? But it's always fear of, and I'm losing the term that I'm looking for. It's fear of the fear of the worry. I can't think of it. I'm sure it'll come.
Fear of the unknown, maybe.
It's always it's a certain like your fear of liability. Like you always sit in this position where you have a fear of liability, so you look at a general subject and you go, I have this fear of liability based on these factors, so I'm going to step away, or I'm worried, or I think that this is grouped with that. So you have that worry constantly with you, and that builds upon people where, especially if they don't dig into it, if they don't look at it, research it, think about it, past that, they just go, this looks like that, so I don't like that because that was bad.
I think you're driving at type 1 and type 2 errors in reasoning. Basically, you can either assume that the grass rustling means there's a lion about to eat you and run. And if you're wrong, at the worst, you got a little exercise. Type 2 error is, oh, the grass is rustling, it's just the wind, and then the lion eats you and you're dead.
Well, it's kind of like, a cat has 4 legs, a dog has 4 legs, therefore a dog is a cat, right?
Yes.
The features may be similar, but they're not equivalent. And the equivalency is the thing that trips people up, I think.
Absolutely.
I think that categorizing things should apply more to inanimate objects based on dangers and what they do and what they are, like circles and squares. Those are inanimate objects. Where you shouldn't be using so many categories is when it comes to a human being with a mind. And due to that, that's where we end up having problems, because if you're going to put Joe in a box, Eric in a box, Casey in a box, or if James is watching, put James in a box.
Which we are.
Okay.
Do we have a Jack so we can have Jack in the box?
Yeah, well, we do have a Jack. My dog is named Jack. Put Jack in the box, but he's a being as well. A dog can act very differently. You see a dog and you're like, oh my God, it's going to kill me. Well, being that I deal with dogs on a regular basis, usually big dogs, don't do anything to you. It's the small ones like Chihuahuas that are angry and don't have enough room for their brain. They want to bite your ankles. But the bigger dogs are more than likely, they do look aggressive, but like pit bulls, most pit bulls don't want to do anything with you.
Yeah.
People like really have categorized them wrong. I've also seen many people treat their dogs very, very poorly. So there's another thing. You can't just categorize a living being. You can categorize inanimate objects.
In the case of dogs, right? People say pit bulls are, oh, they're aggressive and dangerous, and it's like, well, like you said, you have experience. You know that that's not the case. I know that that's not the case. It's down to the individual dog, right? And their own experiences, how they were treated. Maybe they're historically seen as violent dogs because that's the perception and that's how everybody treats them, and they kind of build that structure into the dog.
Or the dumb human that had the dog decided to train it in that fashion.
Exactly. Yeah. Like stereotypes and stuff like that. They exist for a reason, because there's, maybe a lot of the times it could be true, but the reasons it's true, like with pit bulls, a lot of people do train them to fight. So there are some mean pit bulls out there, but it's not their fault. It's not a species thing. Like categorizing living things should only go so far as description.
Maybe medical descriptions to help them be healthier or something.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have descriptors for things to, tell them from one another. And like you said, with medical stuff, it's the whole choosing your gender thing. It's still kind of important to know what your biological sex is, just for medical reasons. There could be a certain
hormone
aspect that suddenly becomes like really important to know, right? So things like that, it's like you do have to have these categories. But
anything that's genetically related to medical history, my brother has a sickle cell anemia trait. I don't know what that means, but I know that it typically only happens in the Black community.
Well, you guys do have a little bit of Black heritage.
Yes, absolutely. But it's one of those things where it's as pale as we might look, like it genetically, it may make a difference when you're, having a heart attack or having high blood pressure or something like that. Like whatever that sickle cell anemia, however that presents, that's something that is good to understand, good to know.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I looked that up, but I don't remember if it was recessive or if it's the kind of thing where if you have one recessive allele, it can kind of change the shape of your blood cells. That might be what was going on there. Or it could just be that he's a carrier. Like he could easily pass it on to offspring if he had sex.
And that was the thing I was curious about, because he was always, it said trait, and I'm like, I don't know what that means, but it's fascinating, and it's hopefully it doesn't affect me in a negative way or my family, but it was interesting that he was diagnosed with that.
Yeah, no, it probably wouldn't really make a huge difference on you medically. I think you have to have like full-blown sickle cell anemia for it to create any trouble, unless you get malaria, which then can't get into your blood cells. So then it's actually a plus, right?
So is that kind of like, despite its drawbacks, is that kind of like a evolutionary benefit?
Well, yeah, it's perception, right? Like,
well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. That is it a blessing or a curse? It all depends on where you're coming from. Is something good or bad? It just depends.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a couple comments.
Oh, about pit bulls, I think.
Nope.
No. Historically, they were nannies in the household. They would give their lives before someone could harm the children.
Thank you, Jennifer.
It's either a pit bull or a Jack in the Box.
Right. Yeah. So let me ask you guys, how are you checking the comments? Do you have an internal login, or are you actually just watching it as well?
I've got the comments popped out in my own little window that I can move around and look at.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm doing this on my phone, so
that's what happens when you're God.
No, I've got the YouTube over here, so I'm seeing everything like 30 seconds or like a minute after the fact, which is interesting, and then watching the comments pop up as well.
Yeah.
Yes, pit bulls. Okay.
Okay.
There's a leg.
It's definitely a lag.
Yeah, I've had to pause the video because it's a little bit weird seeing yourself in the past moving around.
I'm hyper focused on the Galaxy Note 20.
Rimmer.
Rimmer.
Oh man. Oh, we're gonna go down a Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
Hole, are we?
That's gonna happen.
That's all three of you because I didn't really watch it.
Oh, you said
I am not cool.
Odd man out.
Well, actually, I'm the even man out.
Oh man, time for another beer.
I wonder if James is watching. James, if you're watching, send us something on Facebook.
I invited him and Kathy from the group chat. So
Or either of you guys, yeah. If anybody we know is watching, send us something on Facebook. We have our cell phones, so we can, do stuff.
Well, yeah, and like having some new comments, like things to discuss, like that I think is valuable. Not that I think we've exhausted the topic of perception versus reality, though.
you have to be very careful with your perceptions, especially when you're dealing with the public on a regular basis. Like I don't know if you guys know what I do for my job, but I end up showing up on the worst possible day of a customer's life. And I meet all walks of life, all different languages and everything else. And you can't walk up to the front door of their house with a perception. You just handle them all the same way with respect. And, I'll change what I do based on how they interact with me. And sometimes I get some pretty cool stories, none that I can really share here per se, but you have to really keep an open mind when you're dealing with humans.
Oh yeah, and in like retail and customer service and stuff like that, that's kind of par for the course, I think.
Yeah.
We're always in there. I feel like we all deal with different levels of that, though. I feel like some people are more like internal customer supporters, and others are external, and some support everything, though. And there's a lot of different levels of human beings, and being able to empathize with all levels of everybody and appreciate and accept and do all those things is really important, which some people struggle with.
Yeah, and probably based on that perceptual kind of prejudice, I guess, that people who exhibit this particular feature are this particular way, like whatever it might be. A guy with glasses, he's got to be a nerd. Like that's the assumption, and I dealt with that. And so it's like I can understand people who experience the same kind of prejudice based on things they can't change.
Yeah, I have glasses and I'm dumb as shit.
Yeah, you are. You're not dumb as shit. That dude is just lying.
Well, how about dumb as fuck? Can we go with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
If one doesn't work, try the other. Yeah.
Smart as fuck. Whatever.
I think one big problem that comes from a lack of ability to perceive is communicating with people on social media or even text message. You don't have facial cues, you don't have vocal inflections. So many fights
with people in general. Communicating with people in general across the board is the reason why I'm employed. I just help people communicate with other people. That's all I do. Once you take away the facial expressions and you take away the tone of your voice, art of the email or the text message is incredibly important, and everybody sucks at it. I would say that I'm amazing at emails. I can show you multiple emails that are amazing and very detailed, and they do not express or allow people to understand things as well as just having conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've spent hours crafting a perfect email before, and like, because it'll be something really delicate, right? And then I'll show it to my team members, and then they spend a couple hours like tweaking it and putting their 2 cents in on it, and then by the time we get the email off, it's like too late. Things have already blown up.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's something I've learned from ex-partner of mine, a really useful, I guess, mantra or saying: always assume best intentions.
Yes.
Like, if you come from the standpoint that most people are good, you're not gonna have too many disappointments or err when it comes to dealing with a particular person or their character or things like that. But it's like society conditions us to fear everybody. Like, everybody, oh, there's so many bad people out there. It's like the stranger danger kind of thing.
It doesn't even have to be a good person, because a bad person could actually do something good.
That's true. Yeah. Well, and that's a good point.
Yeah.
Which is often ignored.
And that's another category we would create for people, right? Black and white, bad and good. Like, how do you determine that? What makes a person good or bad?
Yeah, and it's very subjective as well. Like, what is bad or what is good? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Like, I feel like,
objectively speaking, Bad is probably one of the best-selling albums of all time, but
rest in peace, Michael Jackson.
I think we could also agree that chimos are bad.
What's that?
I think we can also agree that chimos are actually bad.
I don't know what that is, actually.
Child molester.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Trying to avoid demonetization there. Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody that takes advantage of somebody's situation or inability to make their own decisions is a bad person. I would say, like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, if somebody's incapable, say people in a mental hospital or something like that, yeah, just always wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't want to put it on like an either or basis, though, because
I agree.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, so let's take pedophiles and child molesters, for instance. Like, in the Catholic Church, like, a fair amount of priests have been found to be kind of in that category, right? But and I'm not even trying to apologize for their behavior or anything, but it's like a lot of people do get a lot of positive stuff off of religion and priests and things like that, so it's like those people can make positive impacts in life and still do really horrible things behind the curtain.
And that's a really good point too. Like, how many negative things and to what magnitude flips you to the other
cancel
side.
Culture is stupid to me. Like,
yeah, like the way I see things is kind of fuzzy logic, right? Like, it's cumulative. If you do something stupid once, okay, that's forgivable. But if you keep like over and over and over again doing same stupid stuff, or being mean or something, like, well, then eventually at some point, a point I don't know, because it depends on the individual circumstance, I'm going to be like, yeah, you're an asshole. Like,
That's absolutely true. Like, there's a lot of things I've seen in the media recently where they're like, "Oh, this person said a bad thing." Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, go and fire them for saying that bad thing. That makes sense. And then somebody else says, "Well, this person said the same level of bad thing like 2 years ago." Okay, well, that's not good. And then like, oh, well, if we look through all of our past and we not let's say not all of our past. Let's say if we just look at the last 10 years of our lives, and if we get to the point of evaluating everything that we put online, we've all said or done or something that is going to be perceived as negative.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are perfect, and we all have some sort of a negative outlook or thing that we presented at some point in time, because we may not have understood things, or we may have had just a bad point of view, or maybe we are just an asshole and that just happened to get out.
Well, and it's context, right? Like, when did this happen? Like, how experienced were you? Were you 16, or were you like a 60-year-old guru?
Absolutely.
Like, it does change kind of the analysis of those sorts of things.
It's looking at the past in the lens of the present.
Yeah, which is always a problem. Yeah.
No, it sets everybody up for failure, though, because it goes back to that. Like, I haven't even read 1984. I have the book on my nightstand, right?
What?
But I know what the term thought police is.
I have 2 copies of the book. I wore my Darmok and Jalad shirt. I should have worn my 1984 one. Dang it. Yeah.
I seriously, I bought the book because, of course, everybody knows it and has read it, and I'm not that good at reading, but it was the top 3 in the top 100. And I was like, I'll just order these books. I need to read things that are good. But I know
it's not a good book.
It's not a good book. That's a bummer.
I mean, it's a good book, but like, the story it tells is not good. Yeah.
Yes. Well, but I mean, the idea, the term thought police comes into play, where is there ever going to be a point in time when, so right now we've gotten a little bit closer where people just spew their thoughts out onto social media. Fuck you, this is bad, I hate cheese, I love oranges, whatever your loves and hates and likes are, or whatever, you just spew it out and you take pictures of it and you say this is the best and that's the worst.
But that tastes like fuck.
And maybe it does taste like fuck. You don't know. You don't know.
Until you try it yourself.
Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Once you put it in your mouth.
Oh, we're definitely demonetized now.
How does one insert a fuck into a mouth?
Oh, there are many ways. I'm sure that you could Google it right now and find the solution to your problems.
I'll show you.
I will show you. Well, wait, no, Casey, I'm not going to show you.
That would definitely get demonetized. Or demonetized on a different platform.
Yeah.
But that theory of the thought police idea is that everybody is a horrible human being. Every human being is a horrible human being. We all think terrible things all the time. We all think things that are not appropriate. And we as human beings, as modern human beings, we choose to curtail how we present ourselves to other people in specific situations because of the perception of that situation. We know that when we are at work, we should be perceived this way. We know when we are within this group of friends, we should be perceived this way. We know when in this group of friends, we should be perceived this way. When we're going to family for Christmas dinner, we should be perceived this way. If we were meeting the Queen, well, we have a set of rules for that, which makes it a lot easier, but still, we should be perceived in a specific way. So if there was a thought police situation where everybody said this is the standard. If you fuck up, you're a bad guy. Everybody would be fucked. Everybody would be fucked.
But then who are they? You know, there's a saying, judge not lest you be judged yourself.
Like thought police propaganda that all boils down to perception, right? Controlling perception.
Well, yeah, and like, who are the policemen or women? You know, who are the law makers? Who's the judge and jury?
It could be anyone. It could change on a dime.
Who all have the exact same like flaws as everybody else. So why are they like the better ones? What?
Because they have money to afford the elections,
or they have a title, you know, like the Queen. Like
they have money and they just were born into it.
Well, yeah, like, but who's the Queen? Why is the Queen like a big deal? She's just some lady who wears like really crazy outfits.
She seems super awesome, though. Honestly.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, they are.
Every interview, she seems pretty cool. The majority of people in the world, assholes.
See, it's sometimes you grow to fit the role that you're given. You know, like sometimes you might step into a position of power and have no clue what you're doing, but it really just depends on how seriously you take it and how much effort you put into it. You actually could come out the other side. And it can go the other way too, right? Like, you know, like I kind of liked Obama at first, and then like his second term was, you know, kind of mediocre or whatever. You know, like he kind of slid downhill for me. You know, you know, that sort of thing. Like it's totally possible. It's inevitable for people to change over time. You know,
absolutely.
Well, yeah,
well, and Joe, you could throw in fatherhood.
Oh my God, that's a change of all sorts of life.
Because neither one of us knew exactly what the hell we were supposed to be doing, but everybody else certainly.
How would you?
You just same with motherhood. I mean, you got ideas, but you know, you fake it until you make it, as it were. But a little bit different in a family setting rather than the Queen or a dipshit president.
No, that's an absolutely excellent example. Absolutely excellent.
Well, and
any human being that goes into a situation like if you have a child, no matter how much training or background or how many babysitting jobs you ever had, you never had your child. Once you have multiple, then you have a whole other set of things, and then you have a job and multiple children. I have anxiety that I have never experienced before, having been married and having children.
Rima, where are the nappy sacks?
Nappy sacks.
Help.
It is specific, though. It is specific that this thing exists, that for fuck's sake, oh my fucking God, life is stressful.
Oh, yeah.
Life.
And Joe can attest to me not knowing anything because he showed up in the hospital when my son was born. And there's a really funny story that goes after that when I literally didn't know what the fuck to do.
Love it.
Yeah, mind.
Are you sharing that so I can share the story? Is that what you're doing?
So Riley was born, Lisa's in bed, Joe's visiting, and Riley needed his diaper changed. Well, Riley profusely like let out of every one of his holes, so I didn't know what to do because like he was vomiting and pooping and everything all at the same time, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So Joe laughed.
No, like so here's the thing. You see, okay, so Lisa, so I'll give some background to this as well. So Lisa's had 2 previous children, so she's been through it. She's cool. She's sitting in the bed. She's like, I've had a kid. Okay, cool, whatever. I just want to chill. It's fine. Ted's there. Great. So, baby kind of like doesn't look like it. Like he needs to pee or poop or something like that. So Ted like kind of picks him up, and there's a pee and a poop and a vomit, and Ted goes, oh. And just like looks over, and you see Lisa go, "Son of a bitch," and like roll out of bed.
Well, I think that this illustrates very nicely how like the expectation kind of, you know, we are told, like, you know, oh, having kids is going to be like this or like that. There's all these books and things, and people read books and share the stories. You're not prepared for that. Like,
not at all.
Like,
Nope.
You could do as much research as you want to do, and it's going to throw you a curveball. And such is, it's the same with like everything else.
Such is humanity.
Yeah.
Well, it's categorizing a situation that you shouldn't categorize because you're always going to be thrown a curveball. So all that research can really just make you actually quite angry because it's not working out how you wanted to.
So we got two fathers and two, not as far as we know, fathers.
I might have a couple kids out there, I think. But
so what do you think? Is it better to prepare for parenting or just wing it?
Wing it.
Wing it.
Well,
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely 100% wing it.
I think I would actually agree, even though I have no clue. You know,
I will say this though. I have always thought about parenthood. I always thought about, like, you know, all the girls that I've ever been with, all the relationships that I've been in. Like, you know, what if we had children and how am I gonna handle this? You know, and I had like a handful of major relationships in my life, and each one of those I thought about, oh wow, what if we, you know, is this the one? Am I going to have children with this one? And how would we handle it? And my worry has always been like stability. Like, how am I going to pay for things? How am I going to do things? How are we going to afford diapers and stuff like that? And those basics have always been there, and they have always existed. And even in my current relationship, like I'm really ecstatic, beneficial, happy that I make enough money to afford it. And I just did that just in time. Like, all of my careers or job things that I did for a very long time would not have afforded a child very well.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been very stressed out, and I would have probably killed myself through alcoholism or some other drug use. But as soon as I got to the point where I met my wife, I got a job that was paying enough, not necessarily to the point where I felt comfortable, but it was paying enough that I could pay the bills, and we had our rent paid, we had our diapers paid, things of that sort, and I felt stable. And then only currently do I feel comfortable. And I make more money now than I ever thought that I would, which is a very scary thought for all those people who are entering into parenthood that don't have that financial resource.
Yeah, maybe working at McDonald's or something like that.
That's scary. Like, if you worked at McDonald's and your significant other worked at McDonald's and you both had two children with each other, let's say it was a fully stable marriage and relationship, but your income was so low that you were just basically paying money to daycare so you could go to work, so you could pay rent, and you had to be there for them 100% of the time for everything. That the stress of that makes me want to drink more just as it is.
Oh yeah. No, like I basically told myself, you know, I would like to have a family maybe, but I don't want to do it until I'm stable financially, which basically never happened until I was sterile. So you know.
So now you're gonna adopt, right?
Well, you got to be way more than financially stable to adopt. You got to be like loaded.
That's an interesting point. Like, why is it so expensive to have a kid? Because people
it didn't used to be. I cost $1,800.
Well,
that's a bargain. Oh man, two or three of you, shit.
Blue light special right here.
Oh yeah, Kmart.
No, but people have been having children for as long as people have existed.
Really?
So why is it expensive? Why does it cost so much money?
Marketing. I see that you have that child here. I've made it easier by making this really expensive bullshit thing that costs $795. Oh, and you got to go to work? Well, we're going to charge you $1,400 a month to watch your child.
Mm.
And you don't want to go
Jeez.
cheap on that.
You could almost like rent a house for that price.
No, I've got 2 kids. I've got 2 kids in daycare, and I'm pretty sure. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's grab the checkbook. I'm pretty sure that
I'm surprised Joe has a checkbook.
only for this. Honestly, I do everything else online. What do we have here? $1,300. That's got to be a discount. $1,300 plus dollars, but that's discounted because of the, COVID people and shutdowns and shit. Let's see, 1660 and 1705. I think 1705 is the actual amount. I believe 1705. So $1,700 for daycare for 2 kids. That's a lot of money. It is less than the rent that I charge my renters who have a 2-bed, 1 bath, plus a garage, work area. So it's very nearly close to a mortgage. And it's definitely over the actual mortgage because I have to try to make a little profit. So it's definitely more than a house payment.
We do have some comments here.
Yep.
Where's the female perspective in this sea of testosterone? Well, a funny thing, I have low testosterone. I take supplements. So this is really more of like a swimming pool of testosterone, I guess.
Hey, my wife's here, Jeff. My mom, she's right there.
Oh yeah, hey, join in the conversation.
Wait, do we know her email? Let's just send her an invite.
Why not share the camera?
This is the only person commenting. No, Jennifer Wolf and then Christine. So I mean, if Christine wants to join us, let's just send her an invite. There's Lisa.
We've already got like
no, Ted, talk so we can get Lisa on the screen.
So yeah, when it comes to the daycare though, you're still going on the same one that I took Riley to, right? Over there by Sherman.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I was thinking like the only other thing that I can think of is there's got to be an expense for the business when it comes to liability insurance. And then I'm sure that they probably get taxed all to hell by the state. So I don't think that they actually get as much money as one would think. Even though I feel that they're worth it because they did a really good job with Riley.
I mean, I feel like this could go into economics at this point, like, because
don't get me started on that.
Yeah, just like the value of the dollar and all that stuff, like,
and people as well.
It's always about the value of people and people's time.
Mm-hmm.
That is what economics is. All right.
Well, it's a little more complex than that, but that's a good place to start.
Which was my intention. I try to say fucked up things to get things going.
Well, considering we don't have like that many comments, yeah.
Well, what about that though?
Do you
like,
guys know Christine specifically? Is she just a random individual who's watching, or do you actually know her as an individual?
No, I do. Yeah.
Send her an invite.
I think we already have enough people in the mix, though. We have four cameras, and one of them has 2 people in it.
No, this is true. We're already fighting for the screen stuff.
And you're not the boss of us.
Damn, woman.
Yeah, she wants to lay back in the shadows and not be on the camera.
Please, no, that would answer the request. Where's the female perspective? Hello, female perspective, Lisa. How are you?
What do you want to hear about? I'll give you some perspective.
I would like to, I don't know.
I paid for daycare by myself as a single mom for 2 kids. So
she did.
Wow.
Do you think do you think the cost of daycare is fair? Do you think it's worth it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So yeah,
Whoa.
perspective thing,
Whoa.
right? Like it is a lot of money, objectively speaking, but the value of it
Those
is
are my
immense,
kids, though.
right? What's
Like
that?
I'm not dropping off like a turtle. I'm dropping off my children. So
Right.
it's worth the money.
We got against turtles, though.
That's kind of fucked up, the things about turtles, man. I will say though, with my daycare, like those daycare providers, some of them at least, maybe not all of them, but some of them love my kids as much, if not more, than I do, and that's just a fact.
Well,
No,
hopefully not Joe Biden loving, but
No, God, no.
Not
no.
creepy loving.
but the
Not
thing is,
sniffing.
like, if you share space with another person, you can't help but connect with them. And as like somebody who's raising a child, like I think you kind of become a surrogate parent at that point. Maybe.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
You
some
do.
kids are annoying.
At least I think some kids are annoying.
Lisa, how are you doing? How are you doing? How's life?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like this doesn't always have to be just about the subject. Like, how are you doing? Like, is life good?
Good.
Thank you for the elaborate response. I appreciate all of the detail you provide.
Is this how you conduct your meetings at work?
No, you don't want me to do a work meeting. That would be fun.
Oh, okay.
You just
So you have a
yells at
boss
people.
and you-
I am the manager, and you guys suck.
Is that how it goes?
No, you have to bring stats and numbers.
Oh, stats and numbers. Casey likes those.
Stats and numbers that prove that you guys.
Yeah.
It's not
I
fun.
don't know.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Shari's.
All right, that's
No,
what
I
I'm
need to
trying
brew
to
a pot
get
of
to.
coffee.
Oh man.
So
I want you to know
James
that. I love all you guys. I want you to know that. I'm gonna say
James
that
wants
now.
to jump in on this.
Feelings mutual. Oh,
Are you
really?
drinking?
They're all drinking.
If you're
That
not
could get
drinking, Lisa, you should be.
Me? I'm
Yeah.
sober. I went to rehab.
Well, that's unless
Hang
it's
on a
true.
second.
It's weird.
Hold
What?
on, let me fix that.
It's been a while. Has she actually gone to rehab?
No.
Thank you. That's the response I was hoping for. That was actually
Did I go
the
to
best
rehab
laugh
yet?
I've heard in a while. That was an amazing laugh.
Oh.
If I didn't do rehab, Lisa wouldn't do rehab.
There's nothing bad about rehab.
There's nothing bad about rehab. It's very helpful.
It is. I want everyone to know that. Please go to
I
rehab.
love my government. There is absolutely nothing wrong they ever do.
Now, we did a whole episode on Alcoholics Anonymous and like the alternatives out there.
Mm.
I
And
watched
that was a really good episode. It was it was a longer one, but there's a lot of good information there. Like we had an actual addiction counselor come on and somebody who's been through AA but wasn't necessarily like into the whole religious aspect. And there's a lot of options.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You have to support that though. I mean, because you have to acknowledge that life is stressful as fuck. I mean, we just talked about how much daycare costs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Life is stressful as fuck. And there are definitely going to be people that get to that point where it's easier to do this than anything else.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
And if you get to that point, like, it's good to have the resources to deal with it.
It doesn't always have to be a drink or a drug or a thing or something else to fill the void or fill you up or make you feel happy or whatever. There's other things. I've done and don't get me wrong, I'm on the fence, right? I've done a lot of study about meditation and yoga
Study, huh?
and all the different things that like can bring you calm and happiness. Because I'm never in the moment. Personally, I'm never in the moment. I'm always worried about my kids, my family, my parents, my job, the thousand things that my job brings to my sense of worry. Um, and all of that is it weighs you down, and you get to a point where you're like, I just want to be happy for a little bit. And this provides clarity in a certain specific way where it makes everything kind of go away, but it doesn't fix anything.
That's
It
a really
numbs
good
your
point.
senses.
Yeah.
It numbs your senses, but it doesn't actually fix anything.
This is kind of off topic, but I always wanted to start my own brewery and have at the bottom of each bottle or can printed the words, the answer. The answer is at the bottom of the bottle.
At the bottom of the bottle, right? It's so true. And it's terrible, but no, it helps to drink a lot.
It can actually, like it can loosen you up, right? It can lubricate you socially. It can help you get through stuff, but it can also go too far, right? Like, and it really depends on the person. Like I've got it in my biology, the whole addiction thing, right? Like, my birth father deals.
You're telling me, brother.
but I don't necessarily like I've gone, well, smoking, for instance. Like I used to smoke like 2 packs a day, and then one day I was like, I'm done. And that was it. Like it was easy peasy for me. But, for some people, I mean, you gotta like wean yourself onto vape. I'm looking at you, Ted and Eric.
Oh yeah.
Well, and for me to grant that, I'm currently using a nicotine lozenge. Lozenge.
Yes.
Lozenge.
Nope. Nicotine lozenge. Lozenge.
That's probably still not right. Okay.
Lozenge.
Nicotine lozenge. I plan on smoking a cigar as soon as this is done. But I will say that I smoked a pack a day from the time that not necessarily the pandemic started, but maybe a month after. Like I realized, oh God, things are fucked, and I started smoking again. Pack a day up until New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, I stopped that. Got to smoking a cigar every once in a while and whatnot, and now I smoke cigar every once in a while, and everything else is filled with the nicotine lozenge. Did I say that right?
You said it right.
Good job, Joe.
Yeah. Oh man, we got some comments here. But yeah, I have not, like, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I haven't had a cigarette in like 2 years.
Good on you.
And like a couple times I would have a cigarette and I'm like, this sucks. Like, I'm gonna go back to this.
The vapor production on a cigarette is absolute shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It also tastes like shit.
Well, it makes it smell like shit too.
Oh my God, that's the worst. Like when you actually smoke cigarettes or even bad cigars for any like small length of time, all of your clothes, your hat, everything.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I used to think, my parents won't know that I smoke. It was like, fuck, they didn't.
I knew.
You
never realize till you're older, though. You're like, oh my God, my coat smells like shit. How do I clean my coat?
Do you have any old clothes that you pull out of the closet and you put them on? And you're like, Oh, I used to smoke in this.
Yep.
Oh man.
That would be the one dumbest addiction I ever started.
Oh, that you love smoking. You still love smoking. That's why you're vaping.
No, I'm vaping because it tastes great.
Because you can't drink.
That's why I drink.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I mean, there's something to be said for smoking, like its positive aspects.
There's a lot of research that follows that.
Yeah.
I had better lung capacity as a smoker than I do now.
Yeah.
Just-
Like
And that's not because I smoked. It's not like I couldn't get to that level if I used breathing exercises, but the rhythmic breathing, the long inhales and stuff like that, that's actually like lung exercises. I mean, like,
yeah,
yes,
totally.
yes, you're putting carcinogens in there at the same time. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but like actual like volume capacity was much greater when I smoked.
And okay, this is not a PSA saying smoking is good. It's bad.
Smoke cigarettes before they smoke you.
I've got my thing
Oh,
over there. Oh man. Yeah. I think we should probably address few comments.
I should probably address a man about a horse.
yep.
So you're gonna take a piss?
Focus, Neil.
It's just you and me, Eric. Everybody else is pissing.
Ah, dang it. Well, that's okay.
So
Oh,
did James
man.
actually comment?
What's that?
Did James actually comment?
I no.
Oh, damn it. Maybe he's not even watching. I've been trying to hang out with that guy for a while.
Yeah, I haven't, there's nothing from him.
So which vape shop are you using?
Anyone I can get. Like the one at my end of town like closed down after the fucking Inslee like shut things down here. Yeah.
That was my shop too.
What's that?
That was my shop too.
Oh, Vapor, I think it was.
Yeah, it was a vapor.
Yeah. It was a good. Well, I saw you there. Yeah.
Yeah, the one time I'm like, Eric.
Yeah, you were giving me shit about having a pod system.
Yeah, well, I went and got a pod system after that, but whatever. It's more like a hobby now. My uncle kind of put it in terms of like having a pipe. Like, the old pipe tobacco where you have your little kit and you have all the different parts to get the different flavors. And
yeah.
So, I mean, sure, it's kind of probably stupid, but I don't care. I got 4 ingredients in this. That's it. Compared to how many are in a cigarette.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like there's some terrible stuff in tobacco smoke.
Yeah. But I also don't think they did enough research on nicotine isolated by itself.
Yeah.
Like what nicotine actually can do. Like they need to do some more studies on that stuff. But
oh, totally. And well, and there's kind of this idea that like nicotine is just an isolated chemical, right? Well,
yeah.
What about the freebase nicotine, the Nick salt stuff, like
the nicotine in potatoes, different vegetables? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? Nicotine in potatoes?
There is actually nicotine in potatoes.
What?
Yeah, go get you some fries, bro.
So wait. Like how much?
It can't be that much. I don't know the exact amount.
It's like a pack of cigarettes.
Lisa says it's like a pack of cigarettes per potato.
What?
What the hell?
What's going on with potatoes?
What
Potatoes have
so
anything
wait.
to do with a pack of cigarettes? What
I've
happened?
been missing out.
So okay, so wait. Potatoes, if you eat potatoes raw, you can get something called potato like sleeping sickness or something. Like it's actually like poisonous almost to eat a raw potato.
What?
Like, yeah, like so I wonder if that's why. Like
Might be. I never want to eat a raw potato though.
Huh.
I don't think I mean, like, I love all the other types of potatoes. Why would they be bad? Like raw potatoes, like yes, it would be raw, and which would suck. But like I would think it'd be like an apple instead of like an apple pie.
If I hand you a
Apple
raw
pie is
chicken, it
amazing.
might taste good, but it's gonna make you sick, bro.
Oh,
Like, why would
dollar
apple-
Chinese.
Oh, dollar! Don't make fun of Dollar Chinese. Amazing.
Oh no, Casey and I like dealt with that shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, we got Dollar Chinese one day, and
potato nicotine.
we got Dollar Chinese one day, and the chicken was undercooked, but we didn't know till halfway through. And then I was like, but it tastes so good, and I just kept eating it.
Oh yeah. Oh, this curry chicken, it's so delicious. And then pretty soon,
I just yummed it up.
and in the morning, I go to make my morning pot of coffee, and Casey comes out of his hole that he resided in, and he's like, wow. He looks so green. Like, oh my god, dude, are you okay? Yeah.
Abby.
Yeah, wait, hey, look, say hi. Say
Oh,
hi.
hey, hi.
Hi, Abby.
Say hi to friends. Look, there's Ted,
Hi.
Casey.
Hi, Abby.
With us. There's Eric.
Hey.
Say hi.
Elise says hi, too.
Okay, well, we're gonna clean up our language now.
No. Okay, go find your mommy.
When?
When?
Yes, I will turn that
So
on.
Lisa looked up the nicotine value for potatoes.
Oh yeah.
So it's 15 ng. So I'm assuming nanograms per gram.
Mhm.
That's
so
not much.
15 ng per gram.
Let's start.
But there's still nicotine in potatoes.
There's more nicotine in cauliflower actually than potatoes.
Whoa.
Like nicotinic acid or nicotine?
Nicotine.
It just says nicotine from what she looked up.
Wow. Huh.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go get addicted to cauliflower.
There's been multiple studies about the nicotine amounts within multiple different types of cigarettes, though, which is very interesting to see which ones you think that are more addictive or less.
So wait,
American
if I
spirits
lit
are
cauliflower on fire and smoked it, would I get a nicotine buzz?
Dude, just get some weed. Just get some weed.
Get the cauliflower and try it.
Smoking cauliflower. Oh
Dude,
my
Joe,
god.
Joe, do you remember Bimbo's, like that place downtown?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and how we used to go get those prepackaged like crunchy ass breadsticks, and then you and I used to like walk down the street and like bite off the end like they're cigars and light them on fire and smoke the
Love it.
breadsticks.
What the hell?
Love it.
Oh.
We were fucking pimping. What are you talking about? What's the shit?
Oh man.
That was the shit.
Hmm.
You don't even fucking know.
I swear I got a buzz off a breadstick. I don't know.
They probably had nicotine
What?
in it.
Probably because
Probably
it was
did.
smoking bimbos.
It was Bimbos, though. I mean, maybe it did. Yeah, right.
Bimbo's was awesome. A little Italian joint, and they had like this one pot that they cooked their sauce in, and they never washed it, and that was the secret ingredient. Like,
Oh, joint pot.
Wait.
Pies?
Secret ingredients. Wasn't there something about Flaky Jakes?
Oh,
Your
Flaky
mom?
I
Jake.
think so. Yeah.
Your mom?
I think so.
Was that your mom?
No, I think it was Casey and something about Flaky
Sorry,
Jakes.
that was my bad.
no. You're thinking of man chowder at
Yeah.
Bellini's.
Oh, I thought that was. I thought that
Man,
was a
Chowder,
Flaky
is that Ted's mom?
Jake. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh, Joe took us to the
Fucking
bar.
Casey.
Thanks, take us to the bar, Joe.
Maybe
Oh,
we should. Maybe
man.
we shouldn't talk man chowder. I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
we're
we
already
should- we
demonetized, so you can say what you want now.
Let's get it right.
Some
Do
things
it.
are supposed to remain in the past and a slight mystery.
It's
Oh, my God.
Fat Tuesday, by the way, so all these things are appropriate. Just so you know. Hi. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Okay, let's do this so I can see.
Hey.
Hi, Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Hello.
Bye.
Gotta go in the camera. This is how you learn. This is what school looks like now. Right.
Oh man. And to think, Joe.
Remember Uncle Ted?
Bye.
Eric?
Hello. Mm.
Can we?
Hey, don't forget Casey. Oh.
Hi.
Are you guys? What are you guys doing? Are you guys done? I love the fact this is a live broadcast, and I just
No,
paused everybody for everything.
Pikachu. Is that a Pikachu?
What?
Is that a Pikachu? I can't tell.
No, it's a terrible.
Oh,
It's a cow thing with.
it's a Wish.com Pikachu.
It is.
You should never go to the bathroom with Pokemon because you might
Yummy.
Pikachu.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh man, and
Your
to think,
guys'
Joe.
channel just became kid friendly.
All right, sorry. This is pseudo kid friendly.
Wait, hang on a second, Casey. Don't we have to like say that there's kids in this video,
Oh,
and then
crap.
like,
Really?
the monetization? Like,
Really?
oh man, what? Ah.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. Now we're not going to make like 1/32 of a cent off of this.
Man, Joe,
All right,
just think,
Go.
Joe.
Find mama.
Hey.
Find mama. I gotta go outside. Go. Well, I'm not gonna stay here, so you should probably go somewhere. Please.
Dude, Joe, to think those kids came from you.
They did. That's
Just saying.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What just happened there?
We lost Joe. He passed
Oh
out.
shit.
No, Joe went to get a
Really
cigar.
good.
Is what he did.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I
Go.
bet Joe got a cigar.
I'll be in a minute. It's terrible.
Let's watch this live stream of Joe.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to do things that you will watch online.
Let's watch Joe light a cigar.
That's what happened. Oh, that's
What he's not telling you is it's actually a blunt.
It is not, but thank you for that.
We had a English teacher at the high school we all went to, Wilson, which is now being renamed Silas High School.
It
if you hadn't
is.
heard that.
Holy
Um,
shit. I have a lot to say about that.
I do too.
But this one English teacher, he used to have little like teacher's assistants, and they were always females, and he would always say, "Would you like a cigar?" to his
And we should.
teacher's assistants.
Those were during the era of Clinton, wasn't it?
Oh, jeez. Clinton.
I don't
like
think I
a
had that
cigar?
English teacher.
I did in my mouth.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
Yeah, you
man. No,
How
you
did
gotta
the English teacher
Come
not
on.
me?
Did it.
join the conversation.
Eric's like, this is interesting.
Do you guys want to hear about it?
No, I don't.
There's a coupon. What?
A coupon. A coupon.
A coupon.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah. So about renaming this high school, like, okay, Woodrow Wilson wasn't exactly like the greatest of presidents or anything. So
Well,
I'm not like,
who has been?
Apparently.
right. But like they're basically it's they're naming it after like the first Black female superintendent in the area or something.
Mhm.
Honestly, I have no
You know,
problem.
it's-
In general, even if he was an amazing president, if they wanted to rename it about
a black local celebrity of some sort. Great. That's fine.
What's in the name? I mean, like
Honestly,
it's basically
yeah.
it's just going to age us, when some little kid comes up to us and says, "What high school did you go to?" And we're like, "Wilson," and they're like, "The fuck is that?" We're gonna feel old, but
No,
So
I don't feel any negativity towards it. I think that perspectives change with knowledge and intelligence. Like the more knowledge you have, which comes in time, your perspective will change, and you should be able to change things with it. That's the same thing. Like if you see like a statue of someone who's like, "Oh yeah, Confederate Army," like you lost.
yeah.
Like maybe we should take that down.
Yeah, but I mean, I like we change names from time to time. Like if you decide you change your gender, or if you just decide you don't like your name, you change your name,
Yes.
and people just get used to it, and eventually they just call you that new name. It's not that big.
I'm totally not. If Shane is watching, I'm totally not used to Shane.
I'm not either, but like I try.
I'm a big A, LA sort of person. If either LA or BA are watching, that it is what it is, and I love you both.
I like if I just decided, like, hey, from now on, my name is going to be Ainsley or something, like it would be weird, right? At first, but then
Not
after
really.
like
You look like an
year-
Ainsley.
Oh man.
Sorry.
So I've got only one problem with the name change at the high school. And, being with some of the wisest people I know, I'm going to run it by you.
All right.
I don't have a problem with Dorothy Silas being recognized for what she's done for education and the fact that she was a Black American. I have absolutely no problem with that. But these motherfuckers are going to go drop $400K on repainting the school and changing everything out. That's where I have a problem, because my son requires para-educators at school for what he's going through, and a lot of them got laid off.
Wow.
A lot of
In
other
order to
people-
pay for this?
What?
In order to pay for the rebranding?
In general.
No, at the beginning of the year, and because of their funding and the way that they mismanage their funds. So while Dorothy Silas needs to be recognized, I think that the school board needs to go reach into their own pockets, because they just gave themselves a raise, get a fucking paintbrush and go fucking fix all the signage at the school. And they can
I
pay
agree
for it
with
out of
that.
their own fucking pocket, instead of using money that could have been to employ a para-educator, or even better yet, set up COVID testing in an efficient manner for everybody at the school. That's where you'd be a whole lot better than go ahead and call it Silas. Call it Fuck Sticks High School for all I care. You guys on the fucking board need to go up there and spend your own damn time fixing the name and putting it how everybody wants it to be.
That's
So
a great point.
the name change is going to cost 400 G's.
400 grand.
Yes, 400 grand. Like I have painted quite a few murals.
We're in the
my
wrong
day.
line of business, I guess.
Yeah, and
Apparently,
none of them cost more than like $400.
They have to change all the.
How is it
uniforms.
that expensive?
we will all paint your schools every week. All four of us. Every week we will paint your schools.
For just 100K. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll pick up a paintbrush for that kind of money.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay,
Weekend job for
that's-
25 grand. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, because they're like you said, they're money as it is budgeted within the government or the schools should definitely go towards those who need it, rather than goddamn sign.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, okay, so what do we call the school for short? Right, like when we went to school, we called it Wilson. People who went to Stadium called it Stadium. Do we call it Dolores, or the more ominous Silas.
Well, we didn't call it Woodrow at any point.
No,
Like,
no, we called it Wilson.
Nobody anywhere ever called it Woodrow. So
Yeah,
we would
so
call,
we're gonna
it
call
Silas.
it Silas.
Yeah.
Silas? I mean, you're fucking kidding me. Like,
No, I don't mind Silas. I don't mind
Yeah.
Silas.
Hold
It
on,
was like
hold on.
Slytherin, you know, it's very.
Slytherin, really?
For the whole school.
No, and I
name.
don't mean that in a negative way. Unfortunately, like I said that because the names sound the same. I want it to be known that I don't associate Slytherin with Silas in general.
Dolores Silas, yeah.
Yes.
You guys
Silas,
do realize
Silas,
that's
all of you.
Stadium was always stay dumb and high, right?
Yeah.
And Wilson was always Will Scum. Right? How are you going to defile that in a jovial way for the students?
Sinus?
Hey, hold on, guys. The initials are DSHS.
Done.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god. Oh wow.
Everybody who names a child. Okay, so here's the thing. Everyone who names their child should think about not only how their child's name is going to be spoken, what it's going to be shortened to, what it's going to be abbreviated as, and all of those things to make sure that your child doesn't get picked on. Or you will go, okay, well, it's fine if they get picked on this. I don't care. And when you name a thing like a building or a high school, you should do the same. So DSHS as an abbreviation may not, I mean, that's cool. Whatever. No, that's a nice school. We like it.
I mean, you know, to us nowadays, maybe, but to high school students, it's not going to be viewed in the same light.
I knew Robert Roberts, and then wasn't there a guy in Bush's cabinet called Dick Army? Like, if your name is Richard, why would you go by Dick Army? Like,
why not?
Yeah,
I mean, if
that's
you
right.
got that name,
I'm not
like,
to the
why
Richard
not?
Army. I'm the Dick Army.
hey, baby, I'm a Dick Army.
No, you're Johnsonville Broad.
Johnsonville Broads.
Oh boy, we don't need to go into that.
Windows and dick prints and all sorts of shit.
Hmm.
No, it's the whiskey. No, it's not a thing. It's not a real thing.
Oh man.
Mushroom stamp. Sorry, Lou.
Oh god.
That's all right. They have window washers or whatever. It's a condo now, and it was super expensive.
But then your girlfriend at the time her face was like right there, and you know.
I know. No, I know. Luckily, my face was not, and I'm pointing in the opposite direction.
Wait a minute. Share that story. Oh wait, no, don't.
No, Eric. No.
The quality of this that I've not seen Casey's penis ever. I've known him since like the 6th grade. I've never seen his penis.
Hey, Casey, didn't you drag it across the back of Damien's head?
Probably.
I don't recall that, but I'm not
Weren't you playing
denying it either.
leapfrog and like
Wait a
smack
minute,
him in the back of the head or something?
What?
I thought you like did leapfrog over Damien and like the kid hit him in the back of the head.
I don't know of any stories of leapfrog, but I appreciate
No.
the visual.
It was Damien who did it to Lou. It was back of Lou's head that got reverse mushroom stamped.
Oh man.
boy.
We will need
Actually-
to send this link to him in the future to make sure that he watches it.
We should
Just
have him
to
on the
make
show.
sure.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh man. Well, I
who haven't you touched your penis with? That's really the question,
What?
Casey. Have you not? Who haven't you played games of jump over your food with my penis rubbing against you? Who?
I
demonetized.
okay. So I'm a little
in the
liberal
beginning.
with my naked body, but you know, like it's
Yeah, no shit. I remember the time when you were taking a shower and Marcy downstairs decided to wash all of her under things in hot water, and the shower was like, shh, and you were like, God damn it, and like stormed out the door completely naked, soaking wet, stomped down the stairs of our place, and like shut
You
off
will
the
feel the
breaker.
rash
Yeah.
of the Casey penis.
I was like, oh, divert my eyes. Oh man.
Could at least put a sock on it. I mean, come on,
Oh,
man.
water. Feel my penis.
Oh man.
I didn't have like a tube sock handy. I mean, like,
Oh, you don't use the ankle high?
That'd be a long tube.
Oh man. Well, we
Anywho.
surprisingly we still have a lot of viewers viewing this video.
It's because you guys are funny.
What? What happened?
what?
We have a lot of viewers viewing still.
That's good.
Oh, do we?
Somehow.
I've got too much.
That's surprising.
There's a few people still sticking out with us.
They're like,
Yeah.
wait, how big is this penis?
Oh,
Ever seen the rotor on a
you would have so many viewers if they knew. Oh my god!
I might have a video camera,
Run
but
that
I'm not going to
around.
video that. Let's not post that to OnlyFans.
That's not only like a dating website pump, but like for jobs and stuff. Like I don't know. Like maybe that makes you like better.
I got
One
a
of-
job because of my gigantic dick.
Look
One of
at
your-
that.
One of your cameras,
You-
Eric, might have had it, but I kept the floppy disk at least.
You kept the
No,
No,
floppy
wait,
disk.
you
Oh,
have
there
the
you go.
floppy disk. Do you have the purple floppy disk?
Well, it's not floppy anymore. Ooh.
Oh, wing. Oh man.
Oh my god. Oh,
Wow.
it's terrible.
Oh man.
You-
Actually,
sent the-
it's I'm old. It's pretty floppy. Yeah.
We're all old. Good lord.
Yes. And it's sad.
Well, this went an interesting direction.
Yes, it did. Yes.
Perception versus reality. Hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Making everybody perceive the size of Casey's cock.
Oh man.
That's super accurate. Honestly, I've never actually seen it. I only assume.
I've never seen
Only
it either.
assume. Like
Well,
there's like there's stories where it's like there are people that like,
Yes. The
look at
stories
my hand
and the-
motions. Like it's these are things
So,
that
there you
stories
go.
present.
Perception. None of you have seen my penis, but you all have the perception that it's big. You don't know.
yeah, the stories,
That
the
dude has
fables.
like a 5
Okay,
inch penis.
so Casey accidentally, I inadvertently grabbed your cock.
He took both
You
hands.
remember that?
Oh my god! He's all like, oh!
Are you falling down? Were you like,
Well, I
oh?
didn't until now. Thanks. Like,
Why?
Oh,
Why did you
man.
accidentally grab his penis?
Because he had like Skittles in his lap.
I didn't like.
I like the Skittles.
Wait, Casey, didn't you have a rapist van too?
Oh shit!
Ah, that's not a rapist van.
I had
really bad.
windows all around the van. And they weren't tinted.
People could see
I'm just saying, you're
A
kind of luring Eric
voyeuristic-
with Skittles.
rapist van.
I got your daughter in the back.
Dang, Lisa's there right now
Mm.
In the van?
In the van?
in the van,
She bought her own.
right now.
Oh,
Oh
Her
man.
van. She's starting to fucking rape people. Lisa's starting to fucking rape people.
Yeah, she's very rapey.
does she?
I'm
have
glad
her
she's paying
own-
attention though. That makes me happy.
Does she have an
She's paying
OnlyFans?
No, she doesn't. Otherwise, I would be very, very rich right now.
Bigger than all of them.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Don't tell them that.
What?
Ooh, yeah.
She said that her penis is bigger than all of ours. Don't ask me.
Oh,
Don't ask.
don't
me.
ask, don't tell.
Yeah, just roll with it. It's detachable. She leaves it in the medicine cabinet sometimes.
Oh my
What was
God.
that? King missile, detachable penis.
Yes.
It was actually anal devastator.
Oh,
Anal
what?
Devastator. I feel like that's a personal nomiker. How are you doing, Jed? There, yeah.
What? I don't
Lisa,
have any problems going to the bathroom.
Lisa, how's your butthole? Lisa,
Oh,
how's your
God.
butthole?
I can't use it on myself.
Can't use it on yourself.
Oh, we have
Was
a
your butthole
comment.
good or bad?
That is a
Or-
privilege I have not been granted. Oh,
Have you been
okay.
ramming away or what?
Oh.
Get out of here.
Oh man, wow. This is better than Sherry's.
Well, I think it's
saying.
actually par for the course, except for we don't have cigarettes or coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yes
we
and
got
no.
beer.
Your cigarettes and coffee are self-made in this situation.
True.
I have a cigar. I have a shot of whiskey. I have a beer next to me. If I wanted coffee, I could have coffee. So this is actually amazing because I get to hang out with all of you and do all of these things that I like to do, and not fuck around. I don't know. Not
Yeah, we should definitely do this again. I think like this is a really good combination. Oh man.
I
So
agree.
Casey, there's a comment.
Oh, yeah. Just that is a privilege I have not been granted. Presumably about my penis. I don't know. The comments have now diverted to my penis. So if you become a patron at patreon.com/ks, no.
Or join our
Okay, wait,
OnlyFans
I'm just gonna
site.
read this. I'm just gonna read this because I can't understand it because I've had enough to drink. At least your mascot didn't change after 100 years. Went from the Indians to the Eagles.
What?
So what?
Are we talking football or a school?
No,
Probably a school.
read the comments.
Oh.
I
What
can't.
about that though? Like,
Paraz or Paris or Paraz are
Are we talking like
earthbound
football
angels.
clubs? Right?
so yeah, like what about like the Washington Redskins became the Washington football team? Like, did they just pick a jack off name to be assholes or what? Like,
Yeah, of course.
but like you still have like the Chiefs and the Braves and like all kinds of like,
They're all
They're
going
trying to
through.
change those as well, I believe.
what's that?
I think they're also trying to change those two as well.
Are they?
Yeah.
What do you think about that though? Like,
Stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes hand in hand with the Confederate flag. You know, we wouldn't be running around America with Nazi flags and waving them in front of Jewish people. So it
yeah,
kind of goes hand in hand with that kind of line of thinking, which is something I've learned in the past few months because I'm trying to educate myself further and further to understand. And
Did you not know before?
well,
no, like when you go with the general leave from Dukes of Hazzard, right? Okay.
Oh yes.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
a long time.
That I agree with 100%. Like I
But-
love the generally. I was 100% behind that. Like
well, okay, yeah,
this
the
is
Confederate,
my flag.
yeah, Confederate flag is like pretty blatantly racist, but like the word, well, we're talking about perception earlier.
Yeah.
The word brave is by no means like a negative connotation, right?
No.
Like
And it shouldn't be.
Cleveland Braves or whatever,
Mhm.
whatever city. Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
Cleveland Indians. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's bad. Cleveland Indians, maybe because it's not even India, right? Like, I think we established a long time ago that was like, whoops, we fucked up, you know, like we're
Well,
not in India.
it goes back to like expectations versus reality.
Mhm.
So I don't know. There's like so much of a problem there.
Like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about all of it. Like Redskins, like, okay, that I mean,
Well,
I don't
if
see like a
you're-
positive spin on that, but like Braves, I could see a positive spin. So
yeah. Well, as long as you're not like dissing people,
right.
I mean, it's okay. You may not know. Well, nobody knows. I mean, if you claim to know something about
at
a
the
particular
time,
culture,
you have no idea.
Yeah.
yeah,
At the time, you're rooting for what you feel is the good thing to root for in the moment, and with the support of your community. Now
Yeah.
that we have communities that are more pungent, more available, we now know that some things are good, some things are not. Honestly,
but,
Yeah.
like
but the idea that like if you didn't know a long time ago and you know now that somehow you should be judged as if you should have known
Well,
then
they're,
what you know now.
they're not trying to erase history. They're not, it's not like we're going to give the baseball stats of, like the Atlanta cockatiels or whatever they decide to become. Like we're going to say, hey, up until 2000 whatever they were.
wait, I'm trying to get cock a teals.
Oh man, I gotta get more beer for this one.
No, I'll backtrack a little bit. Like there are certainly words that don't necessarily sound bad. Like Braves might not sound bad, but it could be carrying a stereotype, just like boy is
Oh my
technically,
god.
like
the worst
technically a kind of a trigger word for Black people, but it's like youthfulness is typically seen as a good thing, but in this context, it could be seen as bad. So
In context of it, even in a negative context of like boy, like you're trying to talk down to like younger person,
yeah, no,
but
that's a good point.
now it is definitely like not that at all. Like it definitely expands out to everything. Like that's just a very very rude connotation.
Well, you're
But
attempting to emasculate by using the term boy. So there's that.
Yes.
yeah, and it's kind of like again experiential. Like we know now these particular things, but can you judge your past self
Right.
on a
Yeah.
lack of knowledge of those things?
Yeah, you shouldn't be censoring old Looney Tunes like Foghorn Leghorn. Like, boy, I say, boy, like that wasn't even like remotely insinuating anything nefarious. It was more like a cultural, geographical lingo thing,
Or even if it was insinuating those things, even if it was at the time, we don't engage it that same way. Like that, I feel like that's the thing, is that there's one level of expression where many people and many times throughout our history we express something in a certain way, but it does not necessarily mean that we embrace it the same way. Like I recall
yes.
all of the Looney Tunes, and many of those Looney Tunes are racist as fuck, as are the Disney movies.
Going
But
back to
I don't embrace them now as a knowledgeable adult in my current level.
yeah, like going
The
back
same
to
way.
the whole perception versus reality thing. Like
Yes.
we didn't know 99% of what we know now. And the idea that we would judge our past selves or other people's past selves based on that is ridiculous. Like, well, are you some kind of god? Are you omnipotent and have, we're born with the knowledge of everything?
I assume that you were. Honestly.
Well, that could
when
be.
I met you.
But like, we're always evolving and making mistakes and learning from them and changing our views and things like that. We're not the same person that we were 10 years or 20 years ago. And to judge people based on things that have been said or done decades ago, as if, well, you should know better. Well, how could you? Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things that are, it's hard to draw a defining line, right? Like there's certain things that you would think, okay, just from a standpoint of being like a decent person, there's some of this stuff that didn't make a lot of sense, like Webster's dictionary defining a Negro as a subhuman in 1950.
Yeah.
A little weird, right? Like, but yeah, I mean, like when you take into context everything that they had been, force fed up to that point, it's not like you're making excuses for it, but it's more like understanding
the lack of understanding.
Yeah, understanding lack of understanding. That's a good point. Yeah,
and understanding those things also is really important to dealing with your own shortcomings in knowledge as well. I guess I don't know what do I know? I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh, Eric's got a little buzz. All right, there we go. Sweet.
Yeah, I got a few beers down.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're about like 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours in. I think that might be enough.
It might, but it's not.
No, it's not. But for now,
wait.
What?
James, I sent him an invite, but he hasn't jumped on yet. But he says we're way off on the race stuff.
Okay.
What?
I think James ought to jump on.
Okay, let's find James. Let's get him a fucking invite. Honestly, I would love to see that motherfucker in real life.
Yep.
I would too.
Where the fuck?
We need a black perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I would
get on here, James.
Come on, motherfucker.
Wait, is he using Casey's internet?
Hey, mine hasn't dropped yet.
There would be, man.
You got like potato internet there.
Potato internet. At least it's got nicotine in it, right? Like 15 nanograms.
Should have got that. Should have got that cauliflower internet.
Oh,
come on.
Cauliflower and broccoli and kale, they're all from the cabbage family, which you never needed to know.
But I did like having Cabbage Patch Kid cards in, I don't know, elementary school.
Yeah.
Dirty. That's
Or garbage pail kids.
Garbage pail kid.
My bad. I forgot how it went.
Are you aware that the lettuce family is also mildly hallucinogenic?
Huh.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna go trip balls. Give me a salad.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, James.
James is saying next time. James.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think we've had enough. Like, I mean, it's been like 2 hours now. Like, we might want to call it a night.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean,
we can,
James.
No.
Chicken.
Let's get him the link so it's easy for him. Come on.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit this because I think this is actually like.
Do we have to revisit? Do we?
Yeah, we could hold this hard for the next time we get together and definitely have James on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, totally.
Kathy also said that she'd like to be on with us too. So
Nice. Oh man, like a 6-way conversation.
It's
Holy
gonna be like Sherry's.
shit.
Yeah, like
Like,
This-
I would like to have everybody on properly. Like we should shoot that out like Sherry's and have everybody on to have a conversation.
Everybody at the big table, right?
yeah,
Oh, man. Oh god.
if the big table could handle it, Zoom can handle it.
But I can handle like 100+ people, presumably. So they claim.
So
Yeah.
they claim.
we may end up having to do the raise your hand to speak thing to make sure that everybody's heard. But
Who has
I'll tell
the
you what.
talking stick?
that has made meetings at work so much better because everybody has to raise their hand to speak. And then half the time they don't want to raise their hands, so they don't speak. Makes meetings go much faster.
Hmm.
Well, then you
Oh,
have
man.
people that forget to put their hand down after they've already talked, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that
did
gets
you want to
a
say
little-
something? And they're like, oh no, I didn't take my
Sorry,
hand
man.
down. Sorry.
Sorry, man.
That does happen a bit.
Well, so thanks for deep sink diving with us. And if you want to see a video of Casey's massive schlong, and watch this channel get demonetized, like, share, subscribe.
Wait.
OnlyFans.
Where on the internet? Where on the internet is my
Big
schlong?
penis is on OnlyFans.
Crazy. It's so big, it's just
Big
everywhere.
penises.
I mean, it may or may not be on the internet somewhere, but I'm just wondering, where have I missed it?
Oh, I got videos.
You okay? So wait.
The
Now
the
you're
truth comes
you have
out.
videos. Okay.
Yeah, I actually don't.
There were videos. And now there's no videos.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I got blue balls, right?
This is terrible. There were videos and now there's no videos.
Sorry to all the girls and guys that wanted to see Casey's dick.
Big old dick.
Yeah.
It's just going to remain in perception.
Oh man.
But
It will
the
break
virtual
your
reality.
heart and your shoulder if you try to lift.
Casey's got a wheelbarrow for it.
oh, then there was the story about choking a hooker, but we're not going to go into that.
Jesus Christ.
That shit. Break your wheelbarrow. That shit break your wheelbarrow. It gonna break. You can't live that shit.
Casey made the horse blush.
So we'll have to make that the opening conversation for the next video.
If you could any of this video into some sort of future use, that's amazing. Really.
Oh,
It is.
man.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Wow.
Teddy,
Joe,
where's your wife?
my wife is over here. There's my
Lisa!
wife.
Lisa!
Looking at her phone.
I
Get
mean,
off social media. It's caustic.
Maybe she's
It's
watching
you.
us.
She's TikToking and watching you on the big screen.
fuck off.
Oh,
that's
that's so
amazing.
awesome.
Hey, hey, fucker. Hey, fucker.
Which fucker? This fucker?
Lisa
that
the fucker. Lisa the fucker. Lisa the fucker. Hey, fucker.
Mhm.
What up?
I miss you. I love you.
I miss you and
Oh.
love you.
I wish we'd hang out more.
I'm on my way over.
Come on. Fuck off. Don't fucking play. I got wine. We can hang out, do nothing.
We gotta work in the morning.
Well, yeah, so do we. So we'll fuck off.
She doesn't have a stage.
You fucking cunt.
Oh man, so polyamorous. Oh wow.
Well, I love you, Ted. Love
I
you,
love you,
Lisa.
Eric.
Love you,
I love
Eric.
you.
Love you, Casey.
I love
Rock
all of
on.
you. Okay, punk rock 1974.
That does not rock.
Oh man,
Stuff, you know.
man. Oh wow.
Yeah, imagine if Sherry's had beer back then, man. Oof.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Did you read this
Oh,
book?
but that was the
Get
thing.
Faith
That
to
was the
Walk
thing.
In?
That was the there was no there. That was the separation between adulthood and adulthood, right? Because you could be an 18, 19, 20-year-old and sit at Sherry's and drink coffee for days and smoke cigarettes and bullshit with people prior to the entrance into being an alcoholic.
So, all right, Joe, I remember when you first got drunk and you puked on Casey's leather jacket.
Man, that's a fucking amazing memory.
That's
That's a fucking amazing memory. That was not a short time
Oh
ago.
man, those girls. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy night.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that was my brown leather jacket. That was the last brown leather jacket I ever owned. I just couldn't look at another brown leather jacket after that. Like,
was that at Rich's party? One of Rich's
that was
parties?
Rich's party. Yeah,
Yeah, that was Rich's.
that was
and
the
it
same
was-
one where we stayed up until 4 a.m. playing with Rich's cat with the laser pointer, and then his cat had permanent neurological damage after that.
Assumably.
I don't
Maybe.
remember that because I had like two cute girls on either side of me.
I imagine that
and
is true.
Jailbait
You
bowl
guys, well, yes, but you guys were trying to keep me away.
Jail bait, but not jail, right? Jail bait.
Oh man. Oh God. Oh, and like, weren't the cops called? Like Rich's
On one of
neighbor's
those parties,
house?
yes. On one of those
Rich's
I don't think
neighbor's
that-
house. I
I don't think that one. No.
No.
maybe.
Cops called, and
Really?
like Rich and I, or somebody and I don't know. Like, I was 21 at that point, and I was like, I came out with a beer in my hand. Oh
fuck.
yeah, wait, cops.
I'm responsible for all this.
And everybody's like, "Whoa, cops!" And they jumped the fence, and yeah.
Oh, it's not as bad as the drunken debauchery where we had like
Not as bad as the junk debauchery.
no, yeah. So we like went to one of those little kiosks at the mall where you could print off business cards, and we just said drunken debauchery, such and such time, such and such address, and just handing them out to strangers at the mall. And guess what? Bad shit happened.
Oh.
The cops got called like 3 times before like 9 p.m. I think, and it was interesting seeing the back fence kind of like warble like this as everyone was trying to climb it at the same time. Like,
Wow.
good times.
Great oldies. ABSG.
I missed that channel.
Oh
yeah. Nobody plays that 60s stuff anymore, really.
No, they don't.
That's a shame too.
I think everybody's going to streaming music, so they just don't listen to the radio very much.
Yeah.
Technology's a bitch.
Yeah. Good stuff gets forgotten.
Well, radio was free. It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh man. Whoa. Holy shit.
You all right there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, we've got a few people sticking out with us.
Oh, yeah, I guess we do, huh?
6-ish people.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, this is like a really good conversation. Oh man.
Well, so you just got to have the Sherry's booth night or whatever we want to call it.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, we gotta do this again.
Let's talk about balls.
Lisa wants to talk about balls.
Balls.
Okay.
Well.
Eric says okay. What are you guys going to table with those balls? Like how I sit on mine from time to time? Old age is a bitch. I'll tell you what. I sit down wrong and it's like, oh, I just got kicked.
Oh, so the one nice thing about having low testosterone is I take injections, right? And that shrinks your balls. Doesn't do anything to your wang, but your balls shrink up. So you don't sit on them anymore.
For real? Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I feel like you're fucking with me.
No, I got small balls, but
I'm down. I'm thinking about just getting rid of them, maybe
All
replacing
right.
them with a couple of titanium.
Wait a minute. Let's bring this in. Okay.
Oh my
The
god.
last thing I heard was I got small balls. What's going on? Whatever. I took a piss. I had a refill. I got small balls.
I sit on my nuts. Casey takes testosterone to make his balls smaller. Therefore, I should take testosterone shots so I don't sit on my balls.
So you don't sit on your balls?
Yeah, man.
And you have small balls.
Lisa says
I
yeah,
have small balls now?
They said, yeah.
He starts talking hard.
Motherfucker.
no, it's great. It's like constantly wearing a leotard. It's awesome. Yeah. Never sit on my balls.
Those are pretty fucking hot. Like if you look at chicks with leotards, like that's hot. Like I don't think you have like
I got the moose knuckle thing going on. Or
like, you know,
Is that elephant trunk actually?
Oh my
you know,
god.
how's your dick doing?
it's feeling a little neglected lately. I don't know.
You know, I just realized we're on a channel that talks about microscopy, and then we're talking about penises. Is it bigger
And-
because we're magnifying it, or
And we're
Right.
live streaming, by the way.
Yeah.
So
All this is terrible.
live.
All this is terrible for all of us, like in general, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Got
'cause-
canceled.
yeah, well,
But-
we never like videotaped what we did at Sherry's before. Some of that shit was really funny, but now
yeah.
there's a record of
Hey, we got some comments. We got some
Oh.
comments here. Not blue, but purple.
Your
And
balls are purple.
Choking is fun.
Oh,
Somebody wants
I'd
to do
agree.
some-
Switch. Who is your purple choking balls fun?
One-eyed, one-horned, purple-headed yogurt slinger.
Wow. Yogurt slinger is a thing, man.
I thought it was man
It's a
chatter.
thing, man. Yogurt slinger is a thing,
But that's
man.
maybe not quite how the song went, but
I feel like the yogurt slinger is a thing, man.
Oh. Man.
oh man, a lot of beer.
Mhm.
Fuck. you.
Just a
Okay,
bit.
so I've been watching a cartoon on Netflix, and now I feel like a lot like the king that's in the cartoon because I
Tell me we're watching
sound
Big
like him
Mouth.
a lot. Huh?
Ing? What?
Were you watching Big Mouth?
No, it's shit. I don't know.
It's a kids show, right?
No, but it's an accurate Simpsons runoff.
Oh, Enchantment.
Enchantment. Yes. Thank you.
Haven't
Huh.
watched it yet.
I feel like I sound like the king on enchantment,
No.
which is terrible in
Oh.
general.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't know. We're already demonetized, so
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Penises? Is there penises?
Cocks.
Cocks?
Balls.
Cocks and balls.
Dicks with giant fucking balls.
Cocks and balls. Balls and cocks.
Sorry, kids. I didn't mean to.
Not for
ruin
you.
Your Santa.
Not for you. Tell your
Yeah.
parents. PTSD. This is what this is.
Oh man.
PCSD? Post-hoc stress disorder?
PTSD.
Oh, I thought you said PCSD. Uh-oh. Joe's in
What
trouble.
They're like screaming
Uh,
at the house.
Okay.
The neighbors are going to call the cops. They
Okay.
live in front of
Oh.
fuckers all
We
day.
love you, Sarah.
Live in Burcrest.
Well,
oh, we lost Joe.
yeah.
Busted.
Oh man, Joe, Ted, love you. Yeah.
This was fun. I enjoyed this very
Yeah,
much.
this is good.
All right. Well,
I
we've
think it's a good point to end on.
yeah, we've thoroughly demonetized the entire channel retroactively. So
We'll start asking you for money.
Mm.
well, thanks
Go to
for
Patreon.
deep sink diving with us, and
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You guys have a good night. I'll catch you on the next one.
All right.
all right, have a good
Peace
one.
out.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good night.
You too.
Oh.